Welcome and thank you for joining me today. My name is Samantha. Today we will be discussing the topic of emotions, especially managing emotions during this time. What are emotions? According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, emotions are a conscious mental reaction subjectively experienced as a strong feeling, usually directed toward a specific object and typically accompanied by physiological and behavioral changes in the body. During this time, I have been feeling various different emotions, sometimes more than one at a time. Also, at times, some of the emotions are strong feelings, while other times they are not. Taking care of your emotional health is important. Emotions are complicated. Emotions impact how we act, think, perform, and impact our internal physical well-being. One of the first steps of managing your emotions is identifying what you are feeling. For some of us, this is easy, and for others, it is difficult. Also, it may be easier for some to identify when they are happy, and others, it may be easier to identify when they are not happy. Have you ever had someone ask you what is wrong with you without even saying how you feel? Our body language is often a sign of how one is feeling. Your tone of voice and maybe the speed at which you are talking can also be signs of your emotional state. For example, if you are happy, you may speak faster with more energy in your tone and maybe standing up tall with a smile on your face. When you're not happy, you may speak slower at a low tone, monotone, with your head hanging low. Can you identify any of these traits or others that you display or experience when you feel a certain way? When I am angry, I clench my teeth. Identifying how you feel and identifying your body's reactions to your emotions will help you with coping with them. Identifying triggers to your emotions is also very important. Can you identify a trigger to a specific emotion? Take a minute and scan your body. Are you slouched over? Is your heart racing? Are you anxious about something happening later today? Today we're going to focus on how to cope with our less desirable emotions, which can be related to unknown times like now in the pandemic. The CDC lists common signs of distress as feelings of shock, numbness or disbelief, change in energy or activity levels, difficulty concentrating, changes in appetite, sleeping problems or nightmares, feeling anxious, fearful or angry, headaches, body pain or skin rashes, chronic health problems get worse, and increased use of alcohol, tobacco, or other drugs. Seek help from your healthcare provider if the stress reactions interfere with your daily activities for several days in a row. To help cope with emotions, the CDC recommends taking care of your body, connecting with others, taking breaks, staying informed, avoiding and asking for help. Taking care of your body means eating healthy, getting regular physical activity, getting adequate sleep, and avoiding alcohol and other drugs. For some of us, it may be difficult to obtain the foods you are used to eating, or you're forced to purchase different foods with a longer shelf life because you do not want to make frequent trips to the grocery store. This does not mean that you should make unhealthy choices. If you are unsure of what to choose, visit choosemyplate.gov for guidance. ChooseMyPlate.gov is a great resource for making healthy food choices and tips for choosing the best food options for you and for your budget. If you are purchasing packaged food, be sure to read the labels if you have dietary restrictions, allergies, or are conscientious of your choices. If you have difficulty reading nutrition labels, try using your handheld magnifiers, smartphone, or assistive technology to assist with reading the labels. You can also visit directionsforme.org. For many, physical activity has been a hard task to accomplish. Some individuals are not comfortable going outside, while others who have lost access to their gym or do not have their normal equipment do not know what to do. It is important to find ways to move. The internet has so many free resources. Vitamin D is also important, so if you're not getting it from the sunlight, speak to your doctor about supplements. Getting adequate sleep is also very important for your overall health and well-being. The sleepfoundation.org recommended sticking to a strict sleep schedule of bedtime and wake up, even on weekends, and at this time during quarantine. This is something I started to work on last week. The Sleep Foundation also recommends practicing a relaxing bedtime ritual, avoiding naps if you have trouble sleeping, exercising daily, setting up a sleeping environment without distractions, and set your temperature between 60 and 67 degrees. Sleep on something comfortable for you, avoid bright light in the evening, and expose yourself to bright light in the morning to manage your circadian rhythms. Avoid alcohol, cigarettes, and heavy meals and spicy meals in the evening. Spend time to wind down. For example, spend the last hour before going to bed doing a calming activity such as reading. Avoid going to your bedroom if you are not tired. Find another room to relax in until you are ready for sleep, and if you still have difficulty sleeping, seek a professional. We also recommend sharing your feelings with a friend or family member and to maintain relationships and rely on your support system. Maintaining connections can be difficult at this time. They can also become boring. For example, we have all had to avoid traveling to the places and connecting with people in person at church, at our friend's house, at community centers, at school, at the ABVI facilities, for classes or client connections, and many others. I bet most of you have been in contact with people over the phone, but there is not much to talk about since there hasn't been anything new really going on in our lives. The monotony can make the phone call connections fade over time. One way to keep the connections interesting is to think out of the box and get creative. What does this look like? It could be suggesting you have a phone call or virtual coffee, tea, or pizza party or baking party with your friends where you're all cooking something together virtually or over the phone. You can also come up with games like trivia. Prepare questions to ask your friends about current events, yourself, memories between you, etc. You may also want to handwrite or braille letters to each other and send them in the U.S. mail like a pen pal. For those of you who do not use social media, now may be a great time to join and reconnect with new friends and make some new connections or connect with old friends. If you are lacking connections and would like to be paired with another ABVI client, please reach out to ABVI for the peer-to-peer program. ABVI also recommends taking breaks and doing activities that you enjoy. Some of us cannot participate in the activities that we enjoy because of the pandemic, but now is the time to discover new hobbies. I, for example, am trying to crochet. It is a calming activity that I have never had interest in before. I'm not very good at it, but I am enjoying learning and I'm excited to try something new. I probably would have never tried this if it wasn't for the pandemic. The next two tips from the CDC are staying informed for updates, but avoiding excessive exposure to the media coverage. A healthy balance is going to be the key for success. It is very difficult in today's world to avoid the excess exposure. We have news on the television, on our phones, in social media, and on the radio. Lastly, if you're experiencing distress, ask for help. Reach out to friends and family, church members, and doctors. You can also reach out to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration hotline at 1-800-985-5990 or text Talk With Us to 666-746. Would anyone like to share about the ways they are staying busy? So let's think back to the beginning of the presentation when we thought about our triggers to certain emotions, as well as how we felt and if we could identify any behaviors related to that emotion. Think of that process again. Now think about the tips we addressed today. Can you identify one that you could implement into your daily activities to help reduce the onset of an undesirable emotion? Maybe you can think of one that you can try that will help diminish an emotion when you are already feeling it. As mentioned earlier, emotions are complicated. We have control over our emotions even though they are uncontrollable factors that impact our lives. It is how you manage your emotions that it is in your hands. You can choose to let it take over your whole week, your whole day, hours, or minutes. This goes for positive and negative emotions. Take action to improve your mental and overall health. ABVI is here to support our community. We are offering virtual book club, virtual group therapy, and the peer-to-peer mentoring program. Book club is hosted virtually every Thursday. Virtual group therapy has limited space, so be sure to reserve your spot. This month, group therapy will be held on May 20th and May 27th at 10 a.m. You can also sign up for Braille, Activities of Daily Living, and Assistive Technology courses. I'd like to take this time to open up the discussion or to answer any questions you may have. If you feel that you are at risk of doing harm to yourself or to others, please give a local hotline a call. The Berkeley Community Mental Health Center can be reached toll-free at 1-888 202-1381, and the Charleston Dorchester Mental Health Clinic can be reached at 1-800-613-8379. For joining me today. If you have any questions about this presentation or would like to sign up for virtual classes or our additional virtual opportunities, please call us at 843-723-6915 or email us at info@abvisc.org. Check out our website at www.abvisc.org for our latest news.